All right, guys, what's going on? Black Speakers Network in the building. And listen, we are back with another BSN Backstage. This is our opportunity to peel back the curtain, go behind the scenes, and really figure out how some of the incredible events around our cities and communities are working. And I'm here. We got the brothers holding it down today. I don't know if you all know, but an incredible event is coming up in just a few weeks. Obviously, we show a lot of love to the HBCUs here. And guys, I got to say, I'm happy that I can kind of be vendor neutral in this situation. I went to Morgan State University, so definitely got the HBCU pride, but happy that I don't have to pick a side between Hampton or Howard in the next week or so. So super excited. But if y'all were not aware, we have the Battle for the Real HU is coming to Washington, D.C., or coming back, I should say. But this year, we got some special features. I was going to be going down on Saturday, December 13th, CareFirst Arena. And I'm super excited. I'm joined here with the one and only, he doesn't like me big him up, but Mr. Lance Weston is here. And I'm also joined by Brandy Brody. Brody the Joker on IG, and he is funny. Y'all should definitely go follow this man. So I just wanted to grab them really quick for a conversation to talk a little bit about the event, what's going on, talk about the people that are involved, and we'll probably do a part 2 because I just think that there's so much to catch up on. So gentlemen, first of all, welcome to BSN Backstage, and super excited that you guys are here. And I guess maybe we'll start with you, Lance. Tell us a little bit about can you give us the history context of this a little bit and just kind of catch folks up for those that may not be initiated to the college basketball scene, or maybe we got some alumni watching that need to come back to campus. So give us a little bit of a history lesson.
Yeah, the way that the Battle for the Real HU basketball series really started was last season. So Events DC, we actually, sorry, like every time I start talking, she wants to start talking.
We love it.
I got you. So Events DC is a big sponsor of the HU football game, which is called the Truth and Service Classic. And so last year, while we were having the President's Breakfast at the Truth and Service Classic, both athletic directors for Hampton and Howard, pulled me into the corner and said, "Hey, we were supposed to." She's been quiet all day. And
she's gonna be a future speaker. We already know it. As soon as the camera come on, Beyonce did the same thing. It just lights up.
Right. But no, so both ADs pulled me to the corner and said, "Hey, we were supposed to play each other in the Michael B. Jordan tournament up in New Jersey. But for whatever reason, the tournament's not happening anymore." And I think that was because he was recording Sinners, and so he just had to put all his focus there. But they were like, "We want to do this game in DC. Can you make it happen?" So I said, "Absolutely." So I pretty much had like 3 months to put this entire game together. And back then it was just the men's game, and so. February 1st, 2025, we're at the game. It's a packed house. The energy's good. The game is good. Once again, both ADs, kind of teamed up, and then they grabbed, my president and CEO, and they all are like calling me over. And I'm like, "Hey, is everything okay?" They're like, "Yeah, everything's amazing. Like, we want to make this an annual event, and we want to add the women into the mix. So, start planning. And so here we are. That's how we landed at the second annual Battle for the Real HU. But now we got the women holding it down, and the men are going to close it out.
Yeah, I love that. So 12 o'clock and 3 o'clock p.m. Respectively, I believe is tip-off time. And so I know it's going to be an incredible event. For people that may not be familiar with what's going on here, talk to us a little bit about this rivalry, right? HUs. So I've spoken on both campuses. So I remember going to Howard University to speak to the student athletes, and I was actually on stage with Al Sharpton. It was really cool. I had to follow Al Sharpton. It was ridiculous, but yeah, they taught me the HU, and then the attire, like the energy was just crazy. And then I had an opportunity to speak at Hampton as well, and so I know that these schools are both. Every HBCU, if you went to a HBCU, you know what the pride is like, or if you just step on campus or work there. So like from y'all's perspective, what is on the line here? Like when we say rivalry, like how deep is it?
I mean, Brody's from this area, so like I'll let him take that one because I'm
Yeah, I
sure
mean,
you.
this is one of those things where it goes as deep as potato salad flavorings, you know, like this is like, you know, who's the real college, you know, they're like your college got raisins in it. So it's like, you know, this is the HU, you can't, it depends what area you're in who really says, okay, we represent the HU, but there's so much interweaving that you hear that, no, I went to the real HU, no, I went to the real HU. So it's like to actually have them come together, you know, it's like, I mean, it's a rivalry as deep as, you know, I'd say the Bulls Celtics. It's as deep as the Cowboys and the Redskins. You know, it's that type of rivalry that's just it's beautiful to see in the HBCU scene, especially in the basketball scene.
Nice. So, bro, tell us a little bit about your background too, man. So, like obviously you're being deferred to because you're from. Are you from the DC area?
I am from the DC area, and I went to Towson University, which I consider a HBCU, a historically Black Caucasian university. Nonetheless, I had a deep Black collegiate experience. So yeah, it was predominantly white, but I had a very Black experience on my yard, and we were 12% of the demographic at our school. And you know, I was also I'm also Greek. I'm a Noop, so you know, I got the best of all the worlds. I was able to hang out on Morgan's yard, Coppin's yard. You know, I was on Howard's yard. I've been on Hampton's yard. So I've been, you know, all the Coppin, all that, all the schools, UMBC in the area that had Greek life. I was there, so you know, I knew a lot of the, you know, I guess the MPHC students that were on those yards. So you know, I feel like um, I can feel this, like I can feel it, even though I didn't actually go to the school. I have enough, you know, different just brothers in the organization that I felt like I went to Howard sometimes. You know, I'd be on the yard just perpetrating like I went to the school for a little bit.
Yeah, nah, absolutely. And I think one of the interesting things is that it's almost one of those things you almost have to experience. So, I mean, of course, going through the fraternity experience, being on campus. I mean, even if you didn't go to an HBCU, you watch a movie like Drumline, and you just instantly feel like there's a difference here. And so, one of the things I love is that feeling. You almost can't put the finger on it, but you know it when you experience it. And
Yeah,
so I can imagine that this event is going to kind of capture that. And because you have so many people who literally and students and alumni that just go hard for their school for life. And I love the fact that I don't know if all schools are able to. I don't know how PWIs. By the way, Brody, I did go to Morgan, but I still live in Towson, so I go past Towson like every day. So
my
definitely
HBCU, you know.
I feel you on that. Tell us a little bit about the experience. Oh, tell us what you're going to be doing that day. So tell us your role as a host, how you're going to be integrated into the experience, and what you're looking forward to.
Yeah, so hosting is one of the first things I got into before comedy. So you know, I was given the honor to be able to host this event, and it is an honor. You know, it's an honor to be able to host to such a large scale, and it's an honor to also help out my frat brother in this regard. So for me, this is like you know, this was destiny in a sense, and to also be able to return home. I'm actually in Los Angeles right now. So you know, this I'll be flying in for this one. This one was absolutely worth it. It's a homecoming for me essentially. And during the day, I just plan to just really dive back into you know once you it's like riding a bike. Once you know how to host, you kind of doesn't leave you. I don't care how big or small the event is. I'm able to kind of gauge okay, what do I need to do to keep a small group entertained or the large group entertained. There's certain things that just translate based on how large the group is. So I'm obviously going in with some comic relief, but I also know how to keep the energy going and keep the fun alive while the event is going.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I know that there's a balance always between like MC and an event. And again, man, you are naturally funny. So I know the audience is
Thank
going to
you.
be fine from that perspective. But man, and we're at CareFirst Arena. And
Right.
so I've MC'd a couple times. I've never MC'd an arena. So like I like this you got the right person. Lance, I really feel like you assembled the Avengers. I know we have some members of the team that weren't able to join us today, but we might be doing a part 2. Do you want to talk through just how you selected some of the people that are going to be a part of the event and how that incorporates into the overall vision?
Yeah, for sure. So Shonda and Chanel Reynolds, they're twins. I've actually worked with Chanel in, some capacities. We both work in the sports industry. So we've crossed paths, we followed each other on social media, and I kind of see her work. And she, the twins, they both have their own podcast on, I don't know if I should say the network, and I'll let them say that, but they have their own podcast on a large television network, and they have a joint podcast on that same network. So, they're naturals in front of the camera, they're naturals, talking to people. So, I reached out and asked, did they, want to, host this year's Battle for the Real HU. They jumped all over the opportunity. And, the contrast between them and Brody, I think that it would be a great combination of talent that we have. But then also Wes Hall. And so for those in the DMV, DC area, I mean, you hear his voice and see him on camera every time the Wizards play. So he does pre and post game, coverage for them. And I thought that he would be the perfect person to, do the play-by-play, just because, with an event like this, having, the professional, he shoots, he scores is cool. But like for this type of event, I really wanted that Stuart Scott. And I know Stuart Scott wasn't a play-by-play, but like, if you know Stuart Scott, if you ever watched him on ESPN, like, that he brought his own flavor and his own just, charisma to the event. And so I felt like, Wes Hall was that person. When I reached out to him, he loved it. I learned something from our initial conversation. He actually went to TSU, Tennessee State. So he has a deep love for HBCUs as well. So it just all came together, man.
Yeah, Wes Hall, I understand he's an Emmy award-winning broadcaster. Like he's solid. So y'all are going to be in for a treat. So what is it? What do you think about when you think about events like this? And obviously you're working with Events DC. Incredibly important to kind of have this vibrant sports culture available just for folks to access. What is your thoughts around how that impacts the city, the local economy? Obviously you build partnerships with the schools throughout the year. You're constantly having great programming. I was, paying attention to like the Christmas tree lighting, and y'all are always giving back to the community. So from your perspective, how do the events like this play into the overall ecosystem of events and programming that you all support?
Yeah, man. So Events DC, we are the sports, entertainment, and convention authority for the District of Columbia. So, the overall idea for Events DC is to provide, entertaining, things for the people of DC to enjoy. Also, secondary and a very close second is to increase the economic impact for the District of Columbia. So throughout all these events that we do, whether it's a community event, or it's an event like the Battle for the Real HU, it's to, get people to spend their money in DC, if I'm just being honest with you. So whether that's you go to our restaurants, whether that's you had such a good time at our comedy shows or our, a Nats game, and you don't want to drive home and you have to stay in a DC hotel, like that is like what is a home run for us, no pun intended. So it's really all about just, getting that. Really, we want that out of town dollar. So folks that come from Virginia, from Maryland, from New York, folks that come from LA, and stay in DC, we want that out of town dollar. So all of these events are really going towards the same goal, giving you something to do, but we also, want you to open that wallet when you're inside of the district.
Love that. Brody, I want to come back to you because I know that you're going to be you're out on the West Coast right now, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, so you'll be flying in for this. So you'll literally be bringing your West Coast dollars into the market as you come in.
Yeah, literally bringing all the West Coast energy over there. All that, all the E40, the Kendrick, the YG energy. to the DMV.
Listen, Kendrick is still having a year. Like
He's
he
having
carried over last year into this. So.
it's insane. Drake just came out of hibernation, and it's bad for me because as a light skinned individual, we look to Drake as kind of our leader of the skin dependence. And 1 second, come in.
Yeah, the skin dependence.
One thing I think that history or fate kind of just played out perfectly is that the World Series was between LA and Toronto, and then once again LA won that battle. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it couldn't have been written any better.
It's kind of poetic. It's kind of poetic. What are you looking forward the most to between this? Because I know obviously there's a lot of planning that goes into this. You and I have talked. I mean, a year of planning, logistics goes in. As you think about large scale events like this, what are you like once it's over? Like once people are filing out of the arena and the players on their way back and we're wrapped up, what makes an event like this feel like wow, it was a success?
Really just seeing, and I know this is gonna sound cliche, but just seeing a plan come together. I think that's one. Two is seeing, people actually enjoying themselves at the event that you took a whole year or whatever it was. Seeing them actually enjoying themselves and, it just coming together as a success. And now success is relative. Somebody might say, oh, we made $1 million profit. That's a success. Some people look at it as, hey, everybody had a good time, but we didn't make any money. Like success can be whatever you want it to be. I hope we fall somewhere in the middle of that. but no, I mean, just seeing it all come together, all the hard work paying off, everybody that contributed in some type of way. Once that final buzzer goes off and getting those kudos from, the people that you admire, it makes it all worth it.
Love it. Well, look, man, I know you're doing daddy duty. I am going to be talking about this event until next Saturday, only because literally when I think about my own personal connection to HBCUs, right? And it's something where it's just so easy to take pride in that. And I know with the semesters kind of wrapping up, you're looking to have alumni come back. Is there anything that you want to share for folks that might be like on the fence? Obviously right now, we're in the middle of just it's an interesting time to be in 2025. But for folks that are thinking about it, maybe on the fence, any final thoughts or suggestions? Obviously I know it's going to be an incredible time. You got it. Incredible DJ lined up. We're gonna have award-winning announcers. We got one of the funniest mans on Instagram serving as the host. We got both twins, both Dr. Reynolds and Chanel coming to join as a host. So guys, we have a stacked deck. But if there's anything else that you think that folks may need to know, definitely now's the time to kind of jump in. And Brody, I'll bring you back in as well.
Yeah, man. I mean, I kind of, the funny thing is I got on this hat, but then like with that question, I'm going to sound like the guy from I forget the college, but he's like, man, what you doing? You sit on the couch, you ain't doing nothing. But I mean, it's next Saturday. If you sit on the couch, you're not doing nothing, come out to CareFirst Arena. It's going to be a family reunion type atmosphere. It's going to be a homecoming type atmosphere. Even if you went to a HBCU or not, come out and enjoy yourself, see some good basketball. And just, soak up the vibes. It's Saturday, most people will be off work, come take advantage.
I love it. And then Brody, if you're good, I wanted to ask you a question too, man, about just comedy. Like, how do you, as a comedian, does comedy help you stay cool under pressure when you're dealing with events like this? So we're Black Speakers Network, so of course we have a lot of speakers, a lot of folks probably even aspiring to do what you're doing. So any tips, words of wisdom?
I'm just gonna hold it from here for now, because this is just right now it just keeps, I'm trying to prop it up, but it's not working.
Yeah, that's cool. We like the first person POV.
Yeah, so you're saying basically how does comedy could you just kind of reiterate the last part?
Yeah, does comedy help with does comedy allow you to be better at your craft as an MC, as a host? Does it
Oh,
allow
certainly.
you to tap in? So I
Yes,
was
yeah,
just
yeah,
thinking about that.
absolutely. Because comedy is the hardest thing that I do, but it's the most gratifying. And so hosting, you telling me that like my duty is to articulate a message, and I don't have to make people laugh. But if I do make them laugh, it's a bonus. There's numerous things I've hosted where they're like, man, that host was really funny. But then there's comedy shows I've done when they're like, yo, that didn't go so well because there's a higher expectation. You,
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying? So when you go in hosting, it's like I can do a hosting gig with my hands tied behind my back, and and I say that with all humility because I've been hosting stuff since I was in high school. Like this is like, and I've actually was on the radio for WPGC before I went to the West Coast, and I've hosted for hotnewhiphop.com, hosted on BT, hosted 106 in Park, hosted a Nickelodeon show. So I've hosted, I mean, I've hosted funerals, and that's not a lie. Like I've literally hosted a funeral. So I mean, it's like I've hosted a breast cancer awareness run, like it's like a Special Olympics thing. Like I mean, I've done it all. So it's like I have a lot of experience in it, so being able to add some comedic relief to it is always it's natural to me. I mean, I'm always I always have a joke in the chamber at any given time. Like I'm always it's trying to resist making the jokes. It's when we're at it's a serious format. So because this will be loose and fun and everything, it just makes it just a great time. And then I'm definitely going to be bouncing off of what Shonda Chanel, what they're going to be saying. I'm definitely going to come in, so it's a perfect scenario. So I'm truly excited.
All right, no, I appreciate you sharing. So listen, I'm excited. I know that December 13th is coming up very quick. So make sure y'all get your tickets. The link is in the comments below. And look, lock in if you're watching this, whether live or the replay, make sure you drop in the comments who you're rooting for. Like which HU? Are you Hampton or Howard? And then if you drop your tickets, just drop tickets in the comments. We'd love to see that too. I'm definitely looking to connect with some folks that are there. We might be doing some interviews. Listen, it's going to be a great time. So I just appreciate y'all putting this together. Obviously, it takes a lot of work. A lot of things go into hosting events behind the scenes. And so appreciate y'all for sharing and definitely looking forward to an incredible experience.
Yeah, likewise,
Sounds
man.
good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Well, as we always say here at BSN, keep speaking up. Your audience awaits. Oh, Lance, you should probably take them up on that doing the comedy two hands tied behind your back. I would like to see that. If not for this event, maybe later if
We
we
could
can.
do it. We could do blindfolded too. It's up to Annie.
Look, I got all faith in my brother that he can do it and knock it out the park.
I do. I do too, because I'm feeling like he just got that confidence. All right, y'all have an incredible night. Take care. And as we always say here at BSN, keep speaking up because your audience awaits. Talk to y'all soon.